is dying.
Okay, let's roll then. Hello everyone, I'm Kavita Budhraja from PDD, and today is a very interesting thing that I want to talk about, China's shopping festivals. I have to be very aware of the fact that I don't really know much about it, so therefore we have PDD's Ada Yang here with us to discuss and enlighten me, Ada, a little more about China's shopping festivals. Of course, they're more than any other festivals in the world and really providing an opportunity for global and local brands, offline and online, to tap into the spending power of 1.4 billion people in China. And one interesting thing that I felt when I was reading through the festivals and China's e-commerce as well that we've been following is how willing the audience is towards discounts and sales promotions, not the least suspicious about why this is happening. It's like, let's join the bandwagon because there's a sale going on. So tell me about that mindset in China.
I think it's a Chinese people's culture to wanted to bargain. And why I grew up, like I was always under the influence that, okay, I see my grandparents bargain, my mom bargain, my aunt bargain. Like, it's just like people wanted to save money and to buy value for money products whenever they can. So it is a big it's a bigger culture thing. And I think over the time, because of the shopping infrastructure like e-commerce and online offline shopping, people are like this, it's getting so competitive that I think all those platforms, they start to give you discounts, they encourage to incentivize this type of shopping. So yeah, I think it just works both culturally and also the infrastructure of commerce has been more developed and then matured.
Yeah, and the brands have cashed in, right? So you have, the whole concept of numbers as well, which I find very fascinating. So you have, you have the 5.20, the 11.11, you have the 5.5. It's like everything is linked to a day and a date, and therefore hard to forget. Is there a significance around dates?
Yeah, I think a date. Basically, when I think about the shopping festival, I actually categorize them into like the holidays that are invented by the e-commerce platforms, like the Double 11, the June 18th, and also I think last year, like the PDD, there is a farmers holiday. And there's another type of holidays that just follows the traditional holidays, like the Chinese New Year, October 1st, that's the national holiday, and the Mid-Autumn Festival in China. Yeah, so there are so many holidays. And I think by remembering the numbers, it will be easier for people.
And it's really making up the whole year, something to look forward to every month, right? And everyone's gearing up to shop, and I just find it such a fun thing to do, even with family. So you mentioned a few holidays, of course. So let's start with the Lunar Festival. I mean, or the CNY, or Chinese New Year, as it's called. It's referred to as the Spring Festival there, right? And it is what equivalent of Thanksgiving in the US, family and travel and stuff.
I think the meaning behind definitely is very similar to Thanksgiving. So I think Chinese New Year is the most important holiday for the majority of Chinese people, and it is a period of time for everyone to go back to their hometown, to celebrate, to just hang out and enjoy that type of connection with the family. Again, it's a family reunion, especially for people like me who are not living in my hometown. This is probably the only opportunity for me to go back to my hometown, to see my grandparents, to see my nephew and niece, and to see my parents sometimes. I just feel like this is a great opportunity for me to show my appreciation and show my love to them.
What about sales then? So there are lots of sales promotions, there are lots of discounts happening online and offline. People are shopping helter-skelter.
Yeah, so first of all, online shopping, it already started 14 days before the holiday, because like that period of time, the Chinese New Year is the time that migrant workers will also go home. So the logistics and transportation will be stopped during that time. So the
Right.
holiday already started 14 days before,
Yeah.
and there are all types of products that you can buy, anything that you
Right.
can imagine. Yeah,
Yeah.
and especially for us who are like we're post 80s. I was born in the 80s, so I'm like the rising consumers
Yeah.
that are buying everything.
The
Yeah,
right
so yeah,
target audience. Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
offline shopping also, people will take this opportunity to just go out during the New Year when you are back home. I think starting from the 3rd or the 5th day of the Chinese New Year, the shops will already start to open. So
Yeah.
you will take this opportunity to go and hang out with your family and friends back in the hometown.
Yeah, I was reading somewhere that domestic tourism, of course, increases. People travel around during the Spring Festival holiday. And I think in 2019, it generated something like 72 billion US dollars. Just the number of trips rising because people are traveling with family. That just adds to the whole fun aspect of reunions anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's also something.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So that's something also I wanted to mention is that it has become a trend for the families to go to a vacation house or like to a resort, to go to a place that's not the hometown for the reunion. So that, like you said, their travel has already become a big trend.
And then, of course, there's the International Women's Day.
So for when I grew up, when I think about March 8th, I associate with, okay, this is the holiday for married women, for older women, because in Chinese, we call it 妇女节. So 妇女 means married women, or like women who already have a baby or something like that. So younger women don't really fall into that category. So I think over the last decades, and because the younger ladies realize, okay, I don't want to feel left out. I want to join this holiday as well. And it's also an official holiday in China. People get a half day off. The girls get half day off.
Is it just women? Is it just women who get half day off?
Awesome. Yeah, women get half day off. Yes, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
So like the e-commerce platforms start to see like the opportunity, and they create all those like different holidays, like like university would create like the girls princess holiday, princess day, the day before the women's day, and there's like the Queen's Festival and the Butterfly Festival.
Yeah, I read about that. Butterfly Festival.
Yeah, I think all these holidays are just like to celebrate the girl power, and and also for the guys to to show their love for the partners. I will actually show my love. I am a woman. I think I realize how strong women can be, and I really appreciate my mom being there. So even though it's not like a Mother's Day, I would actually take this opportunity to appreciate my mom. And my husband, he knows this is the International Women's Day. He will buy me flowers, and it's just like the day
and you mentioned girls, and I read that girls felt left out because it was called International Women's Day. So then there's a Girls' Day a day before, right? When young boys basically give gifts to young girls.
They take the opportunity.
To go for dates as well, I heard.
To go for dates,
but when you think of it, if I got half a day off on a day that celebrates women, I'm going to take a bunch of my girlfriends from work and probably go shopping. So it's just perfect, the way they've targeted that. So it makes complete sense. And the fact that men actually give gifts on International Women's Day is lovely. And that's not the only day when they give gifts. So this love is in the air looks like a permanent thing, because there's Mother's Day, when you get gifts. There's Valentine's Day, of course, when you get gifts. So that's following the Western calendar. But there's also the 5.20 that you mentioned, 5.20, which sounds like I love you. And you get showered with gifts that day as well?
I do. Fortunately, yeah, I am really
move
happy
to China.
Yeah, it's just like what I'm trying to say is I feel like there are so many people are being so creative with the holidays, with the opportunities to celebrate love. Like 我爱你 is I think it's not just the when I think about I love you, I sometimes think about, okay, I'm showing love to my husband, like it's more like a romantic, but I think it goes way beyond like the romantic relationship. People take this opportunity to show their appreciation to their dad, to their grandparents, and to the kids and to the friends. So yeah, I really felt like it is a very, very meaningful festival, and hopefully it can get introduced to the Western culture one day as well.
Hopefully it continues. Yeah, it's called the she-economy, right? The growing she-economy in the US. Yeah. Moving on, I'm thinking calendar, June. And then there is an 18th of June Midsummer Festival. What is the significance of that?
So you're talking about the June 18th festival. It was actually started by JD. It was the anniversary of JD.com to celebrate the anniversary. So it has gradually become, when it first started and they had a huge promotion, this is like the mid-year event for their customers. But over the time, it has become such a big mid-year shopping festival across all e-commerce platforms. So I think last year the 18th, the June 18th festival has recorded around like 17.6 billion USD in transaction volume. So it was a huge thing.
Wow.
Yeah. In June, there's another holiday. Yeah, the June 1st. It's a Children's Day. I think because we are I grew up e-commerce has a huge influence of my daily life, and it has become a big part of my life. And I myself, together with my generation, has become young parents. And they were really tech savvy, and we purchase everything, especially the women at the house. So I always take this opportunity to buy not only gift for my kids, but I buy a lot of necessities, daily necessities for him, because the platform will provide good discount during that time. Yeah, so this is also something that we celebrate here.
Okay, and order volume on PDD, which of course is the world's largest social commerce platform, surpassed 1.1 billion during this festival in 2019. JD, which is, like you said, started this festival, also saw 31.5 billion worth of orders. Great, millions and millions of products, of course, being offered online. And the reason I mentioned both the companies together is another fascination is that even though one company starts it, whether it's Double 11 that Alibaba does or JD's June 18th, it seems like it's okay for the others to join the bandwagon and have their own sales on that specific day, right?
Exactly.
Well, of course, then there is the National Day, October.
October.
Is that similar? Is that similar to the Spring Festival, or is that any different?
I think that that holiday is actually one of the few long holiday in China. I think the meaning is slightly different from Chinese New Year, but I think people take this opportunity to do similar things. It's for reunion, and people take this opportunity to travel with their family and friends, and also for some people who work in big cities, they don't really get days off. I think this is a perfect opportunity for them to just relax, go offline shopping and hang out, and some of them will go to theme park. Especially like here in Shanghai, people go to Disneyland and all those theme parks. So it's just a time for people to hang out. But I think traveling is a big thing during Golden Week. We call it Golden Week, by the way, the October, but the Golden Week. So you will see probably on e-commerce platforms starting before the October 1st, you will see like the rising volume of travel gear. The transaction of travel gear, and also some type of food and beverages and sales, and because people who are actually not working not so far away from their hometown, they will actually go back to their hometown to just do similar stuff at the Chinese New Year.
Okay, so then we move on to the Double 11, which is the Singles Day, and started by university students because they felt they were single, and all the 4 digits 11111, and then Alibaba just cashed in on it and made it their own. And it's a global phenomenon now. It's not just China. So how much do you shop on Double 11?
Oh, I shop a lot. I shop before the Double 11 because the promotion already started way before the Double 11.
Really?
And I think it's actually a day I felt like full of love as well, because I was once single, and I felt like I'm not alone, and I get to celebrate my own holiday, and I have seen not just online and offline. I went to Haidilao hot pot that day with my friends to celebrate how single we were, but at the same time I saw like single girls just eating hot pot by themselves with a teddy bear next to them. It's so cute. Yeah, I think
teddy bear bought online on Double 11.
On Double 11, sitting there eating hot pot with them. It's so funny, but it's just like I think it's a very smart this holiday, because considering how many single people are there on this planet, and especially in China.
But it's not just for singles. I'm reading that people actually have weddings on that day to denounce their singlehood and say, well, now we're not single. So it's taken like a complete new turn, right?
Yeah, I think it's more like it started as because of the Singles Day,
right,
but now it has just become a day to
massive,
celebrate everything. Like, okay, I'm no longer single, I'm still single, whatever that is, and people who don't really think about whether they're single or not, like my parents, they will still like Singles Day has nothing to do with them, but they still treat this opportunity Double 11 to shop and to buy like stuff on sale.
Right, and it's a 24-hour festival, the largest in the world. Alibaba hit a record of 38.4 billion in 2019. That's, by the way, more than Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Prime Day combined, which is massive, right?
Yeah.
Wow. And it's ironic as well that a day which started off for singletons has become one to celebrate couples now. You also had US celebrities like Taylor Swift and all promoting brands, right? So it's
and also I think last year Kim Kardashian joined as well.
Wow. Amazing. And then so you're just shopping all year through, Ada. That's all you just doing.
That's why I have to work hard.
I know, work hard and shop more. And then the year ends with a sequel to the Singles Day, right? And it's called is it called 12/12?
Double 12.
Double 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's more like a day for inventory clearance day.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so even cheaper stuff.
Yeah, even cheaper stuff, because like a Double 11, there are stuff that was on sale, like good products that was on sale, but people actually miss the opportunity to shop. And then this is the final opportunity, the last call. Okay, you can still, there's the last chance to buy
gone.
going on. And I think it's also something really interesting is that because it's so close to the New Year,
right,
and it's close to actually like a Western holiday like Christmas, and also like the actual New Year Eve, actual New Year, and close to Chinese New Year. So actually people will take this opportunity to just get some gift before the holiday coming. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it is a perfect day to just collect and keep, right?
Yeah.
Gifts for family for Christmas. And Christmas is not that big a deal, or is it also a shopping festival?
It's actually, I don't think it's a shopping festival here in China, but because there's maybe it's where I live. I live in Shanghai.
Right.
There's a huge expat community here, so people actually, the expat will celebrate it, and you will see like German Christmas market offline, the market here, like next to my house. So people do celebrate, but more like, it's not that common for the mass population here.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, with all the numbers you've given, all the significance you've given, it is really no surprise then that online retail sales in 2019 for China was 1.5 trillion, which is literally bigger than the GDP of Spain. So that's, and Spain GDP is the 13th largest in the world. So we're really talking about a massive space for retailers to just come in and host these shopping bonanzas. So, I can't thank you enough for educating me today, and it would be fun. Maybe we should do this again with props and stuff that you bought on online on these various shopping festivals.
We definitely should. We should.
Yeah, this is so much fun, Ada. Thank you. And that was Ada from PDD with the International Corporate Affairs Office. Thanks so much for joining me. And we'll end this right here. Go shop.
Thank you.
Thank you.